Mr. Burton.
Gentleman from Indiana is recognized for 2 minutes.
Let me just start off by saying I'm opposed to all these bailouts. But after having said that, let me say that if we're going to do it, we really need a comprehensive plan that's going to deal with the problems facing this country. I had Homebuilders come into my office last week, and they told me that their businesses are being reappraised, and they're going to have to pay the difference between what the appraisal was initially and what it is now, and they're driving a lot of these home builders out of business. I had some people who are commercial developers come in to see me last week, and they told me that their commercial assets are being reappraised, maybe 70% of what they were before, and they have to pay the difference between what they were getting and the 70%, and they're being driven out of business. So there's a huge cascading effect with all these problems that we're facing right now, and we're not addressing them in this bill or any of the other bills that I've seen. You've got people who are losing their homes. You got home builders that are going out of business. You got commercial developers that are going out of business because of these reappraisals, and there's nothing in the plans that I've seen that addresses these problems. Mr. Frank and I are good friends, but just throwing this money at these problems without any plan is absolutely crazy. And yet we did it with the first $350 billion tranche, and we're going to do it again, and then we're going to come back with a $1.2 trillion request in just another 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, we can't buy our way out of these problems. We have to have a sound business plan to deal with these problems, and if we don't do it, we're going to see a huge economic problem that's even worse than what we face today. So I'd like to say to Mr. Frank and my colleagues, before we start giving all this money away, why don't we really sit down with the people that are supposed to be administering this money and come up with a sound plan that affects the entire economy? I mean, if you're going to spend the money, we might as well do it the right way. I yield back to balance my time.
Back to balance of his time. The gentleman from Massachusetts.
Mr. Chairman, first I'll yield myself 30 seconds to answer the question.
Gentleman from Massachusetts is
Why don't we
recognized for
tell the
30
person
seconds.
making mortgage